As quickly as I'm talking about it, we've got live images again from that church fire in Philadelphia. And these look like these are ground images, everybody.
Sure. Adam Thiel, I'm the Fire Commissioner and Emergency Management Director for the City of Philadelphia. At 2:47 today, the fire department was dispatched to a reported fire in the church you see behind me. After a short 3-minute response time, our first arriving companies found a heavy fire showing from the rear of the church, and they immediately went to what we call a defensive operation or an exterior attack. Again, heavy fire through the church. They did an incredible job, the first arriving battalion chief and all the companies getting here, encircling the church, being able to get some heavy caliber water streams in place. You can see we have a lot of aerial master streams in place, and that really is what's kept us has let us hold this fire at, right now we're at 2 alarms and a little bit more than that. 2 alarms and what we call special calls. So 2 alarms plus, that's roughly 75 to 100 firefighters and 30 to 40 pieces of apparatus. All of our support partners are here. Police Department, Second Alarmers, Salvation Army, so many others. All the utility companies are on scene. The Water Department's helping us, and on and on and on. SEPTA's here, Red Paws. So right now the fire is not under control. Again, still a lot of fire in the church, but we think we're going to be able to hold it at 2 alarms plus.
Were people inside when you got here? Was anything going on inside the church at the time?
We had reports immediately that all the occupants were out of the church. We did have, I know, one person in an adjacent occupancy who was transported. Actually, I'm not sure if they were an adjacent occupancy or actually started out in the church. But again, this is still an active firefight, and we'll be here certainly all night. We'll have firefighters here all night. But again, just an incredible job by your Philadelphia Fire Department, firefighters, paramedics, and all the support partners out here.
So the person transported was a civilian?
Right, that's my understanding right now.
You don't know whether they're from inside the church?
Don't know that right now. Still active firefight. Yes, we transport people to the hospital.
You said it's not under control yet. What do you want to tell all the folks that are sitting in these neighborhoods with the smoke filling their houses if they have their windows open?
Yeah, well, definitely. You don't want to breathe this smoke. We try to avoid it as much as we can, which is why we're here outside of the smoke. Again, that can be difficult for us with our jobs, but yeah, if you don't have to breathe the smoke, then close the windows. Certainly, if you're having any breathing difficulties or you have any reason that you might think you might need help, call 911. And of course, we will send some of our dedicated paramedics out to help you because that's what we do. The other thing, of course, we want people thinking about, while this is a church fire, we want people thinking about smoke alarms all the time. So always you can call 311 to have smoke alarms put in. But again, this is active firefight. We're still very worried in an old building like this. We're worried about collapses. So there are parts of the building that have already collapsed into it. We have parts of the building collapse out into the street. So you can see we're sort of in a standoff mode. Again, what we call an exterior defensive attack because we don't want our firefighters in those collapse zones. So we're in an abundance of caution. It's possible we might have to evacuate some of the adjacent occupancies. Those decisions haven't been made yet. Again, this is going to be a long duration incident, and we're hoping we can keep it at 2 alarms plus. It's possible that it'll end up going to 3 alarms.
Any idea how it started at all?
No, much too soon for that. And again, we have our fire marshals here, all the usual folks who come out for these fires.
There were witnesses who said they saw people.
No, I've never been to this church before.
There were witnesses who said they saw people on, at least one person on the roof of the church.
Yeah, we couldn't speak to that right now. So we have our fire marshals here, and they are doing interviews. That's what they do. So they're doing interviews with our own firefighters. What did they see when they got here? And certainly they'll be interviewing residents and neighbors to, find out as much as we can. And again, we can't always know what happens.
Can you confirm, was there a daycare center in the church operating at the time?
I can't confirm that right now.
How old
Are you aware
is
that
this church anyway?
This church
Don't know.
At some point was deemed unsafe, some of the structures?
Don't know that either. That's a question for L&I.
How about the pastor? Is he okay?
I have not met the pastor, so I can't speak to the pastor. Again, this is an active firefight. We're at a little bit more than an hour into this active firefight. We will be here the entire night dealing with this active firefight, ultimately extinguishing this fire. Our fire marshals are here, and eventually we'll have answers to some of these questions. But right now, again, we're doing what we do.
Have you seen any aerial relief, or was that called for originally, or is that not type?
We don't do aerial firefighting on buildings in the urban environment. That's just
The church, what happened in France, they were calling for that. They said that.
Well, I don't know the firefighters were calling for that. That's not something you would do on a building because of gravity.
When some of the structures started to collapse inside, was all firefighters out at that point?
No, to my knowledge, we did not make an interior attack, so we didn't pull any firefighters out because it was an exterior attack, and we had those reports that everybody was out of the church.
Has the entire roof collapsed in on the church?
It doesn't look like there's much of the roof left, but again, active firefight. There are still portions of the roof, but again, that's not something that we're going to do is go up on the roof at this
You know
point.
where the fire is located right now?
The entire church has been involved in fire, yes.
So you would say the whole building's a total loss?
I can't say that right now. So I couldn't say that, but we can say, again, the reason that we're in this defensive posture is because it's a heavy volume of fire in this church. And again, we understand it's an historic building, so you can see we're doing our absolute best to save as much of it as we can. It's a very high risk and dangerous situation.
Thank you, Commissioner, for your time.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
No problem.
I made it. I was like,
Everybody made it, I think.
All right, everybody, so the news conference just wrapped up there in Philadelphia, and it looks like they may have switched the live feed on us, and now we are back. This is the beauty and magic, I guess, of news now. We go from one thing to another, one live feed to another live feed, breaking news events, but now we are back. This is the church fire in Philadelphia. Firefighters just giving the first update of the day. We may possibly hear even more. Again, you are watching News Now, WPVI's version of Skyfox over the scene. We're going to continue to follow this.